Vedanta is a product of the fearless quest for truth by pure-souled mystics in ancient India. Through a dispassionate, critical, impersonal study, their earnest and passionate mood in the search for truth in nature and inner life gave birth to an enduring religious value, a limitless, all-comprehending spirituality of irresistible appeal. The impersonal approach of Vedanta makes it universal in spirit. Through its living treasures of rationality and spirituality, Hinduism is vital from the age of the Upanishads to the present day. Vedantic truths have been tested, retested and amplified by a galaxy of succeeding sages who gave posterity the invaluable legacy of a dynamic scientific tradition in the field of religion. It is now known that ancient India's splendid record of scientific development in mathematics, astronomy, physics, chemistry, metallurgy, medicine and plastic surgery, cosmology, grammar and linguistics, town planning, environmental hygiene, shipbuilding and navigation is based on this tradition. Hinduism has had no fear of science. The Vedantic revitalization of critical questioning and rational thinking actually encourages science. This perfectly harmonious coexistence of science and religion accounts for the simultaneous development of the physical sciences and the science of religion. Swami Vivekananda confirmed the need for both. I do not mean that those who want to search after truth through external nature are wrong, or that those who want to search after truth through internal nature are higher. These are the two modes of procedure. Both of them must live, both of them must be studied, and in the end we shall find that they meet. Swamiji refers to the high spiritual flights of the Vedanta philosophy, of which the latest discoveries of science seem to be like echoes. And again, if you go below the surface, you find that unity between man and man, between races and races, high and low, rich and poor, gods and men and animals. If you go deep enough, all will be seen as only variations of the one, and he who has attained to this conception of oneness has no delusion. It is generally understood that the philosophy of Vedanta and science represent two distinct fields of inquiry. Hinduism accepts the supreme truth, which is all-comprehensive and always subjective, it is never objective. Science, on the other hand, accepts the objective world to be real and claims that the secrets of nature can be known through the senses, mind and intellect. Swami Vivekananda, the embodiment of Vedanta philosophy, emphatically says that the follower of Vedanta seeks to understand the heart of things, the very kernel, life itself. The Vedantin seeks the why of things and leaves the how to others. He also says that however eminent science may be, it is not interested in discovering truth. Existence itself must be studied in order to get at the raison d'etre of life. Science, being practical however, lies within the spiritual field and cannot be neglected. The two fields combined will harmoniously contribute to a better world. In the conclusion of his brief history of time, Stephen Hawking writes that for many years scientists were preoccupied with what the universe is, not why it is. The philosophy of Vedanta and science differ in their methodology as well. Scientific inquiry depends upon the senses, mind, intellect, and critical reasoning, whereas the Vedantin enters the inner world through intuitive wisdom. Moreover, scientific knowledge always remains partial. Regarding 19th-century scientific reason, physicist Werner Heisenberg says, "Matter was the primary reality. The progress of science was pictured as a crusade of conquest into the material world. Utility was the watchword of the time. This frame was so narrow and rigid that it was difficult to find a place in it for many concepts of our language that had always belonged to the very substance, for instance, the concepts of mind, of the human soul, or of life. Vedantic philosophical knowledge is always complete and comprehensive. Though science prolongs life, philosophy deepens it. Science has breadth but lacks depth, conversely, religion is profound but lacks breadth. This difficult problem is reconciled in Vedanta. As both a profound philosophy and science of religion, it escapes the weaknesses of science and credo religions. The Upanishads speak of two types of knowledge, higher and lower. That is higher knowledge by which the imperishable absolute is realized. Lower knowledge informs us of everything except the attainment of self-realization. This points to two mighty ideological forces before us, scientific materialism and religious provincialism. Scientific materialism is concerned with the finite realm of phenomena and provides a mechanistic and materialistic interpretation of existence. It does not provide us with any insight about the higher realities, what to speak of transcendental reality. A parochial view of religion based on creed or dogma becomes the source of disharmony and bloodshed. The Vedantic view states that religion is the manifestation of the divinity already in man. With Hinduism and dogmatic religious provincialism poles apart, a spiritual view of religion was to be adopted by the dogmatic religions would enable them to incorporate Vedantic spiritual insights. Society will then see an ever greater flowering of true religion as dynamic spirituality. The knower behind our mind is consciousness. Viewed through the narrow window of senses, mind, and intellect, limitless consciousness appears to be limited, gross, and subtle. When consciousness is raised beyond time and space, beyond name and form, we experience the supreme truth, the inner essence of all being. Then the world appears as multidimensional reality. Science and dogmatic religion do not give us a real concept of man and the universe. The conflict between two apparently irreconcilable worldviews, the material worldview held by science and the spiritual worldview held by religion, has been creating problems in life. One observer notes, as the world described by science expands geometrically and grows more complex by the hour, we shrink proportionately in our own eyes. Our personal and collective lives have come to seem inconsequential, infinitely expendable, a cosmic sideshow, where cherished human values, aims and ideals are mocked by nature's blind juggernaut and sheer inhuman purposes. Nobel physicist Steven Weinberg puts it more precisely, the more the universe seems comprehensible, the more it seems pointless. Sir James Jeans also says, the advance of knowledge is at present reduced to what Einstein has described as extracting one incomprehensible from another incomprehensible. Reflecting this dilemma, Nobel neurophysiologist Sir John Eccles rightly ponders in his book The Human Psyche. Man has lost his way ideologically in this age. Science has gone too far in breaking down man's belief in his spiritual greatness and has given him the belief that he is merely an insignificant animal that has arisen by chance and necessity on an insignificant planet lost in the great cosmic immensity. Science does not take note of the consciousness of the observer, as if the observer were not there. Science is objective, positivistic, and deterministic. Its assumptions of logical empiricism will never give a clue about mind or consciousness. For many years quiet revolutions in scientific thinking have been challenging man's reliance on his empirical knowledge of the universe and mechanistic worldview. Modern physicists state that the universe is an integrated and self-energizing system where everything is interrelated and interpenetrated. Mind plays a significant role in the formulation of laws. Karl Pearson pointed out in 1900, there is more meaning in the statement that man gives laws to nature than the converse that nature gives laws to man. Albert Einstein wrote, physical concepts are free creations of the human mind, and are not, however it may seem, uniquely determined by the external world. He, conditioned mind, will never be able to compare his picture with the real mechanism, and he cannot even imagine the possibility of the meaning of such a comparison. In the conclusion to his Space, Time, and Gravitation, Sir Arthur Eddington suggests the intricate and difficult problem confronting physicists in their emerging study of the mystery that lies within the observer. All through the physical world runs that unknown content, which must surely be the stuff of our consciousness. Here is a hint of aspects deep within the world of physics, and yet unattainable by the methods of physics. Italics added. Many interesting and fundamental discoveries have broadened our scientific horizon. There is gradual general acceptance among some eminent scientists, that everything being a manifestation of consciousness, consciousness is fundamental. Since Werner Heisenberg's discovery of the uncertainty principle, in 1927, physicists have been thinking about the mind. In the study of nature, for example, scientists have discarded the utility of a purely human angle of vision because they no longer regard nature as entirely distinct from the observer. As Heisenberg put it, the change in the concept of reality manifesting itself in quantum theory is not simply a continuation of the past, it seems to be a real break in the structure of modern science. Modern scientists believe that the subjective mind and objective matter are interrelated, interpenetrated, and inseparable. The observer cannot be excluded from his observation. Philosopher-scientists Sir Arthur Eddington, Sir James Jeans, Max Planck, Albert Einstein, Erwin Schrödinger, Niels Bohr, and Werner Heisenberg boldly included the observer in the observable and considered this to be a necessary advance in their method of scientific reasoning. In the following 6 decades, this developing philosophical trend has resulted in such books as Fritjof Capra's The Tao of Physics. Physicists John Wheeler, Sir James Jeans and others established the identity of an observer-participator in the quantum drama. Observation causes change in things observed. The emerging consensus is that epistemology must become an integral part of every scientific theory. As we conclude our exploration of the profound intersections between Vedanta philosophy and modern science, we find ourselves at the threshold of a new understanding of reality, one that transcends the limitations of both materialism and dogmatic religion. The fearless quest for truth by ancient mystics paved the way for the timeless wisdom of Vedanta, a philosophy that embraces both the depths of spirituality and the heights of rational inquiry. Through its universal spirit and comprehensive insights, Vedanta continues to inspire seekers across the ages, inviting us to delve into the essence of existence itself. In the harmonious coexistence of science and spirituality, we discover a dynamic synergy that enriches our understanding of the world and our place within it. From the ancient sages to the modern pioneers of quantum physics, the journey towards truth unfolds, revealing the interconnectedness of all things and the essential role of consciousness in shaping our reality. As we navigate the complexities of life, let us remember the profound insights of Vedanta and the illuminating discoveries of science. May we cultivate a deep reverence for the mysteries of existence and a humble curiosity to explore the depths of our own consciousness. Thank you for joining me on this enlightening journey. Together, let us continue to seek truth, embrace wisdom, and strive for a world where science and spirituality converge in harmony. Like, share, and subscribe to Sanatan Sansar AI for more thought-provoking content that explores the timeless truths of Vedanta and the boundless wonders of the universe. Until we meet again, may the light of knowledge guide your path and may you find peace in the unity of all things. Farewell, and may your quest for truth be ever fruitful.